Hey guys, Bowie here, and today we will talk about easy ways you as a carry can improve your chances of winning the laning stage. The first trick we will talk about is this one. See if you can actually notice what he did. By drawing aggro towards the Timber Saw, the Chaos Knight in this game is able to reduce the amount of time the Catapult is going to be hitting the tower. Towers hit one time every second, and every melee creep requires 5 tower hits until the carry attacks it, so to get the CS. And so on average, the Catapult would be attacking the tower for about 35 seconds, which is a lot of damage. But instead with this trick, the Catapult attacks for 15 seconds, greatly reducing the damage done to the tower. Carry players often disregard the bounty rune because offlaners are usually pretty good at pushing the wave into the tower, forcing them to choose between getting gold for them or gold for the team. But that is not the only choice that you have. In this clip, watch how the carry brings the creeps with him, and while they don't get the bounty itself, the Hawk gets a kill and loses one single melee creep going for display. Avoid doing this on range carries though, since they take too much damage doing stuff like this because their lack of damage block. Sometimes in the laning stage, you might draw aggro by mistake away from your range creep. Usually, when that happens, you might get your range creep denied, and for most offlaners, it's not hard for them to just get theirs. One thing that you can do in those scenarios, especially with aggressive lane heroes, is to create a double wave by drawing aggro away from the range creep, even though it's usually common sense to just try and deny yours. See how he draws aggro here for no reason but to protect his range creep? When you create a wave as big as this one, it can get pretty dangerous to get close enough to get the range CS. This play is actually super good. Watch how the Rubik understands this is kinda dangerous, and so he doesn't fade bolt the range creep because the Hawk runs away from it in an attempt to not get the damage reduction and kill the Rubik. The end result though is bad for Radiant anyways. Rubik misses the golden experience, and even though he gets the fade bolt onto the enemies, he dies. By using the chat log, I can calculate exactly how much damage the creeps did in this, and the result is 20% of the damage, which is about 120. This is more than Crystal Nova dealt, which was 90 damage, and pretty much the same damage CK did with his Chaos Bolt. This might feel complicated, but it actually isn't. You just have to coordinate with your support to play aggressively once they try to get the range creep. When you're against an offlaner that has low base damage and doesn't have a nuke like Phoenix, or Axe, Void, Enigma, this trick can be quite useful. The trick is pretty simple. You pretend you're drawing aggro to deny your range creep, but before he gets to deny range, you actually draw aggro and secures the range creep from the enemy. And so the offlaner is taking creep damage without being able to do anything since they cannot one-shot that half HP creep. You can use this to do the same thing we talked about in trick number 3, where you create a big wave, or you can just let the creeps keep hitting the range offlaner until he gives up, retreats, and then you can get the deny. This probably happened a lot to you. You or your support try to pull creeps into a camp, and unfortunately your creeps just aggroed to the enemy creeps already. There's a lot of variety on how to improve your chances to go for a successful pull. Sometimes dragging the creeps a little bit to the right so that they don't see the creeps being pulled to the other side is a good idea, but the trick I want to talk about is this one, where you can use your opponent or another enemy in the game to get the creeps closer to the enemy tower, which is not something you always want to do, but when you want to go for a pull, this allows you to make sure none of these bad boys will aggro to your own creeps, making the pull more successful. A lot of players sometimes feel like they just have to choose in between 2 creeps dying at the same time, but very often with the use of aggro, you can stop a creep from dying or delay it, like here. See how the CK drags the creep being hit by the tower with aggro, allowing him to get the range creep gold and experience and have the chance to also hit the melee creep? So this is why it's the last one, but can be pretty useful.
I'm so... Oh my god, I'm so fucking unlucky!
Do you feel like this playing Dota sometimes? Losing can be really frustrating, especially when you are to blame. What if there was a way to pick heroes and playstyles so good and so fresh in the meta that no one can counter you? Follow my weekly easy MMR meta guide on Patreon to start abusing strategies I'm yet to make a guide of. By selecting this Patreon tier, you will have access to the freshest ideas I'm yet to make a video of, or ideas that are really good but I don't think make a good video but are still important. This will give you an edge versus any player in your brackets. The meta guide is available every Thursday, and if you join before this Thursday, you will get the chance to vote on a hero you want a guide of. Guys, thank you a lot for watching, commenting, and subscribing. If you want a more premium experience than my easy MMR meta breakdown, that is on sale by the way, you can DM me on Twitter to get the rates for my coaching, or you can just follow me there to see what I'm about. In case you got back to playing Dota because of COVID-19 or the compendium, it might be a little anxiety-inducing to play pubs on your own. So you can join our Discord server to get to know people from all around the globe and pub in a safer and more chill environment. Finally, if you want to give back to hours of Dota research that goes into this channel, make sure to check our Patreon rewards or to follow me on Twitch, where I stream from time to time.